When I wake up in the morning, like I barely know what I'm doing that day, and I have no idea what's next.
So are you a bit of a passenger princess then? Is that?
I think I am.
Yes, Brandon. Me too. Hey, I'm Jules. I found out that Brandon Heath and I are both a passenger princess in life. If you don't know what that means, you got to listen to the rest of the episode. Oh, and the worst job he ever had, and his favorite spot in his house. But what I loved the most was hearing how he's able to weave the joys of life with the hardships through his music. We talked through some familiar tunes while also learning about some of the new ones. That's all coming up on this episode of Talk to Me on the Joy FM podcast. Okay, Brandon, thank you for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Brandon. One thing my dad would always say, he had a phrase that sticks with me all the time. So I'm curious if there is a phrase that your dad would always say that now sticks with you.
Oh, I got it right now.
Because I was going to share my dad phrase.
Okay, do yours first.
All right, fine. Me first, and then you.
Twist my arm.
Okay. All right. My dad would always say, no decision is a decision, so make a decision.
Ooh.
And whenever I find myself stuck, like I don't know what to do, I would hear my dad's voice in my head, make a decision. So is there a phrase that your dad would always say that you can now still hear in your head?
Do as I say, not as I do. That was his classic line. But I would repeat your dad's. I would not repeat mine. My
You
dad's.
don't do it? You don't ever say that?
No, it's awful advice. It's awful advice because you lead by example. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As a dad, you lead by example. Do as I say, not as I do is just saying, just mind me, but then don't pay attention to what I'm doing with my life. Now, my dad was a great guy. He was great. And he made good decisions. But I think there's some wisdom left over from maybe the 40s and 50s that we need to retire. And do as I say, not as I do is one of those. Lead by example.
I do feel like a lot of dads in the 90s said that.
Yeah, they kind of did. But it was probably residual from their parents.
Right.
Wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
It sounds kind of like old school. And maybe, listen, the greatest generation is called that for a reason because they were incredible people, but they weren't perfect. And there's a few things that I think just like need a little tweaking. So if I was going to tweak that phrase, I would just say, you're right. I'm sorry.
Honestly, that was a piece of parenting advice that I was given. I said, well, what's the trick? Like, how do I keep my kids still loving Jesus even when they go off to college or they're adults? And they said, find ways to repent in front of your children all day long and tell them, like, I am sinful. Would you please forgive me?
Yeah. You know what we have been trying to do at the dinner table? We do highs and lows, and then we go around and say, hey, what's something that you messed up today? What's something that you failed at? We don't like to use the failed word. We don't do that one, but we say, what's a mistake that you made today? And so we go around and my wife and I get to tell them things that we goofed up at. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it.
And that way it's just kind of like, it's like a softer, more forgiving way to kind of move through the day rather than you have to be perfect because you just can't be that.
And so do you do like serious stuff? Like, hey, I yelled and I shouldn't have yelled. And then you do silly stuff like It's
usually more silly stuff. Like I sped down Hillsborough Road today. I shouldn't have sped down Hillsborough Road today. Or I totally locked my keys in my car. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you can just laugh at your mistakes.
Yeah, you just laugh at yourself.
All right,
Totally.
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
Write that down right now. All right, so you have a way of doing songs that reflect and weave the upbeat joy of life while also the sorrows and hardships of life. So I can go from See Me Through It and then, do you like my way I just sang that?
No comment. Pass.
He does. Faith, Hope, Love, Repeat. And then I can go and take a left turn and sing Give Me Your Eyes, Scars, I'm Not Who I Was. How have you found that you can hold both joy and sorrow in both hands?
Ooh, well, I like paradox. When two things are true at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I've learned to kind of embrace paradox because it literally is happening all the time. And all of us we're always carrying a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've got a few heavy things this morning, but I've also got a lot of gratitude. And so like, that's the way we function with life. So when I write a song, sometimes it can actually be about like, see me through it is actually kind of like heavy, because you're going through a really hard time. But I know you're going to see me through it. If anybody can, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about a heavy subject, but you're doing it in a way that's hopeful and joyful. And so I think that's life. There are many things always happening at the same time. And we just hopefully can learn to hold those things and to walk through life with everything rather than just denial and, all the unhealthy things.
Yeah. Well, there's a line in your new song, Gospel Truth, that when I saw you perform it, it really struck me. And the line is, I may be a believer, that doesn't mean I don't mess up, because there's a hole in my witness, but he's still filling my cup.
Yeah.
How have you seen God fill your cup when you mess up?
Ooh. Well, I think there's always grace, number one. So one of the things that I think that I'm still learning is that, yes, God is almost bottomless with the grace that he has if we've received Jesus, because Jesus took those sins on, those mistakes on, but I don't want to live in such a way that he's going to forgive me. I can mess up again. But I would rather receive that amazing fatherly love that he gives us, that I kind of get because I've got two little girls and they are so sinful. They are so sinful. But there literally is nothing that they could do, nothing that would make me not love them. Now, there might be times when I, as dad, would not be patient with them, but God, thankfully, is patient because God is love. So love is patient. Love is kind. You could replace all those words with God, So he's very patient with me. And I think I just answered the question.
I think you did it.
Maybe.
Yeah. You know what I love about all of your songs is that it's just so honest and raw. Mm-hmm. And you're willing to say, like, here it is. This is my walk with Jesus. Some days it's pretty, and some days it ain't pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I've just, some days are not pretty. And, there are some days where you're like, God, really? You're going to allow this, But I'm also in a place where I'm like, okay, well, there's something to learn from this, I'm sure. And so, again, you just got to walk through the day. And one of the things that's also been a great lesson finally learned, maybe, is that one day at a time really is the better way to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're not really worried about tomorrow. You're not taking on the weight of the past, but you're just like, okay, what do you have for me today? And my wife would tell you, that actually is a gift of mine, is that I can be very present, but where that kind of gets me in trouble is that I have no idea what's next. I'm just like fully in the moment and I have no idea what's next.
So are you a bit of a passenger princess then? Is that?
I think I am.
Yes, Brandon. Me too.
When I wake up in the morning, like literally, I barely know what I'm doing that day. So that's another thing that we're trying to figure that out. Like, because my wife sometimes feels like mom, and I don't want her to be mom, and she definitely doesn't want to be mom or secretary. But it's like, hey, don't forget you have like a 9:15 interview with Jules this morning, so make sure you're on time. But she definitely did that this morning. So I don't know. She's my helpmate, but hopefully she doesn't turn into mom.
Isn't it, though, awesome that God gave us our spouses?
Yes.
Because
yes.
I don't think I would, have remembered to pack shoes for my interview with you without my husband.
I wonder how I functioned before I got married. Seriously.
I mean, honestly, here's the secret. Don't ever let them know that you did function without them before.
Right.
Because we got a good thing going on right now, Brandon. You know what I mean?
I
know. So talking about your family, you and CB have celebrated 10 years of marriage.
Just
did it. Congratulations. Y'all have a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old. You're the one that's singing. You're the one that's writing the songs. But how is your family a part of the ministry?
That's a great question. I don't accept any offer or engagement without talking to CB first. And it's not really like permission, but it's more like, hey, does this work with our schedule? We talk about my touring, how much is too much. So we kind of have like a number that we feel is good for our family. So I'm doing roughly 60 to 70 shows a year now, where it used to be closer to 100, 120. And that was pre-family. So, you start thinking, when you have kids, well, you got to like provide. And that kind of thinking does not really work, because the most important thing is for me to be present rather than to be providing. And so I can let the Lord provide and I need to be present. So we've kind of had to learn that. But as far as my ministry, I mean, I write them often into my songs because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that really are not only interested, but they relate to fatherhood and being a dad, being a husband. You know what I mean? And that's the season that I'm in. And you write what you know what I mean? I've been writing a lot lately about my own father, my own childhood. So I'm also in that season where, as being a dad, I'm learning from the mistakes of my dad on how to do a better job, hopefully. So that's kind of another part of the content of what I'm writing. But as far as ministry goes, they always know where I am. They know that Daddy sings about Jesus, and I have their blessing. So I'm really thankful.
I was going to say, I was talking to him yesterday. They said that my daddy sings about Jesus.
Oh, really? Good.
And I was like, like, hold that tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's all about. All right. Do you want to have some fun?
Let's have a little fun.
Okay. So work, Jules, is done. Okay. So let's have fun, Jules.
Good.
All right. All right. Here is our game that we're going to play.
Okay.
I have questions in this magical disco ball.
Disco ball fun.
I see one on top that I won't pick because it's be cheating.
Have you read it already?
I read it. Yeah.
I'm going to mix it all around.
Okay.
All right. If there is a question that you want to say skip, we can skip.
Okay.
If there is a question that you want to say, you know what, Jules, you're going to have to answer this with me, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to take this plunge together.
I'm not skipping any question. I feel like that's lame.
Oh, you don't even know all the questions.
That's lame. What is your favorite spot in your house? I really like my writing room. Oh, that's not true though. We just built this big screened-in porch and like it's literally like a month old. So what used to be my favorite spot was my writing room, but now I just want to be on the back porch.
Oh man.
We have a creek, but we have lots of bugs because we have a creek, lots of mosquitoes. So we built this big screen-in porch. So now I can actually sit out there and enjoy the sound of the creek and see the backyard without getting eaten by mosquitoes. So, but we have a fireplace now. So it's really kind of like a 3 seasons kind of situation.
Like a little piece of heaven, huh?
It is. Oh yeah. We're out there every day.
All right, let's do it again.
All right. Okay. What was your worst job? I worked at a dry cleaning service, when I was in high school.
Like the back where it's super hot?
I did kind of both. I took like the dirty dry cleaning up front. When, like in the mornings, people would drop off, It was like always a rush. And then, the part that I did love was going through people's pockets and finding just
like can you keep it?
No. And that was part of like the integrity of the business. Like, doesn't matter. Even if it's trash, you put it in a plastic baggie, we staple it onto the receipt, and then it goes onto the bag when the clothes. So you'd find cash, you'd find like Rolexes, you'd find some crazy
and
stuff.
you never, my mom had a rule because she was so tired of having change in the thing that if we left our money in our pockets, she would donate it to missions.
That's kind of brilliant.
It did, because it solved the problem. Because I was like, well,
I know.
money. I mean,
I don't want this going to missions. Keep this.
I know, isn't that terrible?
Yeah, dry cleaning. I just did that for one summer. It didn't pay anything.
What's the grossest thing that you had to clean?
Oh, man.
Did you have any
occasionally there would be like gum.
No bodily fluid? Like, no?
No.
Oh, okay, because I've had to put some comforters in there after my kids were sick.
Oh, Lord.
And I felt like I need to tip you. Like, this is going to be gross.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Thankfully,
good.
I didn't see any of that.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. All right. When is a time you have been brave? Oh, man. I think I have to be brave a lot. I think it's kind of... No, this is lame. I was going to say it's brave to go on stage every day.
Well, when you're not feeling it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When you've just got the worst news, or you're just like, I feel dry inside. Like, how do you then push through? How do you do that?
I don't know. I think you just have to have like confidence in who you are and your abilities.
Yeah.
And like today I have a performance and I really don't know what I'm going to say yet. So I have to just get up there and just trust that I've got what it takes. You know?
Do.
I've got what it takes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have like a, because I think, we all have this inner dialogue, the things that we're telling ourselves are total lies. Mm-hmm. Do you struggle with that? Like,
No.
where you're just like,
Yeah.
how do I turn that off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the lies come from the enemy. So you just have to, even audibly saying the word Jesus is helpful for me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the enemy cannot dwell in the same place as Jesus. Just can't, So he's got to go.
So if I'm walking down the hallway and all of a sudden you yell out Jesus,
Jesus.
I'll be like, okay, sorry.
Exactly. He's being brave.
He's being brave.
He's being brave.
I'm a little scared because I don't know what's about to happen, but this is his coping mechanism. I love that. I'm going to do that. I don't know about audibly because people already question me. So.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Yeah, but you don't give those vibes
let
off.
him question you. Who cares? All right. What is your favorite snack, healthy or unhealthy? Dirty potato chips. Do you know that brand?
Like on the ground? Oh.
No, like off the ground, no.
It's like, bro, I can get you a clean bag of chips.
We could do that right now. We could just throw some chips
Dirty chips, okay.
Dirty chips. They're cooked in peanut oil. So they're just amazing.
So no peanut allergies for you?
No peanut allergies, thankfully. Mm-hmm. But it's just the regular. And I'm very regular. Like I even love vanilla ice cream.
I do too.
But I wouldn't say that I'm a very regular kind of person. But for whatever reason, vanilla ice cream, salt, potato chips. Just real boring.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of, maybe I'm more of a purist. Let's say that.
You're just back to the basics.
I'm so basic right now.
Yeah.
All right. What was the first album you ever bought? No, that's super easy. Bought Garth Brooks' "Rope in the Wind" on CD.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, CD.
No,
Not
it would have been
cassette?
tape. It would have been tape.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
was
have-
like, wow.
We're gonna have to take it back a little bit.
You had a lot of money growing up because CD was like very expensive, the
It was, yeah.
cassette was like where the cheap ones were.
Yeah, but I think you like celebrated the CD more than the cassette.
Yes.
Gosh, I got to go back because I would have been buying cassettes. So I I remember having Aerosmith. What was the record?
I can picture it. It was like a little wingy thing,
It
right?
might have been Push.
Uh-huh.
Was the record that I had. But yeah, the wingy thingy.
Yeah, do you like that? That's
I love that record.
You know what I mean? Like it went like
Aerosmith
this.
wingy thingy?
Like, so that's how
Yeah.
well, that's what came to mind when you were talking. I was like, oh, I remember that
Yeah,
one.
that's their greatest hits record, Wingy Thingy.
Oh, was it?
Okay. What is a bit your family has? Oh, a bit that we have?
Yeah. Okay. So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I'll give you my family's example. So we sometimes don't communicate with words. We communicate with sounds. And every sound has a meaning. So it's like if someone says something that's like, what? My thing is, or like,
Yeah.
or if they say something that that wasn't a good day, I'm like, you know, or, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But the funny thing is like now their friends have caught on. So now they're going throughout their school hallways going, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it's our little language.
Yeah, it is. In a similar way, ours would probably be like we just sing things. So, bath time, who's ready for bath time? You know, when it's like time for things.
Do you have like a timeout? Who's going to timeout?
Do you know what? This is crazy. I think we've done timeout a total of 10 times.
Because your kids are really good. Teach me the
No.
ways, because my kids are not.
They are not good. Well, no, I'm sorry. They are very good. They're very good. But I don't know. Timeout just doesn't work at our house for some reason.
You don't have like a naughty step?
We do.
Just don't have to use it.
We don't have to use it a lot. Wow, I'm just really grateful right now.
You're
for
just
that,
a really
'cause
good dad.
I am such a good dad. You would not believe it.
Man.
You shouldn't believe it. Yeah, that's kind of a bit. We sing things.
That is
We
adorable.
get very sing-songy. Go to sleep. Mommy loves you. Do you know that song?
Now I do. And now I want to
that's
go
the
to
thing.
sleep. Can
When
you
you
record that? And then when I go to bed, I can be like, okay.
Julesy goes to sleep.
All right, I got to wake up. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
You already have a nickname, Jules. That's the nickname.
that is the nickname.
Is your name Julie?
Juliana.
Juliana.
Isn't that a good Southern name?
That is a very
Juliana.
It-
Gone with the wind.
It's very Southern, like fancy.
And I'm not fancy.
I see cursive writing when I hear Juliana.
I do too. That's why I'm Jules, because that is
Why
not
you're
me.
Jules. All right. Which one of your kids do you see the most of yourself in? Palmer, my oldest. Number one, she looks like me. God bless her. She looks like me.
I mean, you as a little girl, yes.
And a blonde.
I mean, adorable. But what's the characteristics? What do you...
She's never afraid to be on stage. That was always me, you know. So she'll go on stage. She has opinions about things, so she has strong opinions. She's very compassionate, which I would say that's her mom too, but yeah. She loves to play in the backyard by herself. Like she could be gone for an hour. That's a long time for a 6-year-old. So she loves to play in the backyard, explore. She picks up bugs. We have cicadas in Nashville right now.
Yeah, we're in a cicada apocalypse. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, it's
What?
a cicada apocalypse because there's
right
so...
now?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many coming from wherever they come from.
I've heard about this. I'm living this right now. Yeah, 2 broods have come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a real thing. I say it sounds like 1,000 weed eaters going off at the same time.
Wow.
That's what it sounds like.
And so she's just playing with the bugs?
She loves playing with them. Where Elliston, our younger, is deathly afraid of them.
Me too.
Yeah. But no, Palmer will pick them up and play with them, and I love it.
Are any of them musically inclined? Do you see it yet? Or are they
Both
too
of
young?
them. Elliston has better pitch than Palmer, but Palmer loves to sing. So yeah, they both love music.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So they're coming for your job? Is that what you're saying?
They're coming for me.
Back off,
I'm gonna be a
kids.
dadager. That's in my future. What's the craziest request a fan has made I can't. I don't know how to answer that one, but there is one lady that got a tattoo of eyeballs on the back of her neck, and it says "Give me your eyes" underneath it. Tattooed eyes on the back of her neck.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't ask her to do that, right?
No.
And when she showed it, what did you say?
I would have begged her not to do it, honestly.
Truly.
But she did it.
But she has eyes in the back of her head.
That's the thing. That's the thing. What is an unbelievable thing your child has done? I'm going to play the reverse card.
Reverse card right here.
Yeah.
Brandon, there are a lot of things because I'm not nearly as good as a parent as you. So my kids do things that shock me. And at this point, you would think I'd be like unshockable because I'm like, I've been shocked so much. I'd be desensitized. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see. We go through the well of all the things. Here's one that comes to mind. So we were at church and my youngest, Ellie, was with me, standing beside me. Sweet elderly lady comes up to me, who's also a widow, and says to Ellie, I met your Nana. We're in a Bible study together. And Ellie looks at her and she says, if you're not nice to my Nana, I will kick you in the shins.
Wow.
Threatens a sweet widow lady at church Sunday morning, Brandon.
So what did the widow say? What did
she was flabbergasted. She just got accosted by a kid.
Yeah.
She got threatened.
Did she smile, laugh,
scream? I laughed and was like, Ellie.
You laughed out of awkwardness.
I know. I was like, you can't threaten Miss Jean. You can't. But then I was like, I leaned over and I was like, but listen, Miss Jean, she ain't kidding. She'll
kick you in the shin.
She will throat punch you. She loves her people really deeply. So yeah. She ain't kidding.
Including her Nana.
Her Nana.
Don't mess with Nana.
So just heads up, Brandon, do not come and nest in Nana. She will take you out.
Okay. I'm going to trust you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make a habit of not messing with Nanas.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So your kids have never broken?
End of interview. No.
That's good.
That's it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So your kids have not done anything like drawn on the walls yet? Nothing.
No.
Wow, I am so
if CB were here, she could probably
She'll
tell
be like,
you.
oh, Brandon, you're just looking at the rosy side.
Sometimes they'll break into her makeup, but that's not unbelievable.
Yeah.
The nastiest thing that I can remember, we have this little table that it transforms into a table, but when you first get it, it's kind of like one of those things you sit your little infant in and they can play with toys.
Oh, yeah.
Like a mobile kind of, I don't know. Anyway, Palmer used to get blowouts, where it completely misses the diaper. So we're in the kitchen, I don't know what we were doing. Palmer's just playing with the toys, but then you just see this fudgy, gooey stuff on the bottom of the play set, which is like a platform, and she's just slipping and sliding around it.
It was was she doing a snow angel in it?
It was shocking. It was shocking.
She's not only did she do it, but then she was playing with it. Making a sandcastle.
Just tap dancing. Exactly. So that was one of the more full contact moments. But we've been pretty blessed. Not a lot of craziness.
So the messier who cleans up? You or CB?
We have a rule. CB does throw up and I will do poop. And
y'all have a rule. Was this pre-marriage counseling?
Yeah,
y'all came up with this rule?
Well, kind of when we knew we were going to have a baby, I told her I don't do throw up because I will throw up myself. If I see it, smell it, hear it, anything, it's happening. We're going to have a double mess. It's going to be a double mess. So, and I do teeth as well because she can't do teeth. Yeah.
I like this. Mm-hmm. It's 50-50.
It kind of is.
Kind of.
Yeah. Not really. If she was in here, she would laugh when you said 50-50. I'm more maybe 10%. She's 90. She's just amazing. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Talk to Me on the Joy FM podcast. Here's what you're going to want to do if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any episodes. Thanks, and have a good one.